Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. We're waking up here at Marine Max on Panama City Beach, right here on Thomas Drive near the Treasure Island Marina. And I'm here with Todd Hudgel, who's one of their ace salesmen here and boat expert. I can call you an expert, right, Todd?
Absolutely. Call me anything you want.
We've been through this already, haven't we? Yes.
That's right.
Now here we are on this beautiful Sea Ray.
Yep.
I mean, it looks a lot like the one we looked at last week, doesn't it?
I was going to say, last week we looked at the 21 SPX with the new Mercury stern drive, and today we're looking at this new model from Sea Ray with outboard power.
Yeah. So the only real big difference is the outboard power, and
Absolutely.
of course the beautiful red color. Yeah.
Oh yeah, beautiful boat.
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
boat.
like fire engine red.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yep. And like the boat last week, tons of storage, versatile seating, great stereo, just a well-designed, well-laid-out boat, as you would expect from Sea Ray.
Now, what about the power, though, Todd? I mean, now it's outboard as opposed to stern drive. I mean, do you have as much power?
Absolutely. There's some benefits to outboard. One of them being that they're a little lighter weight, a little more efficient. Per horsepower, you can usually get a little bit more speed out of an outboard because of those things. The drawback is you don't have as nice a platform on the back for hanging out at the island and that kind of thing.
I would imagine maintenance would be a little easier on an outboard as well.
It is, yes, absolutely.
You don't have to go digging around for anything.
That's right.
It's all
of course,
right
the Sea Rays now, the engine compartments are huge and open, and they're easy to do maintenance on, but not as easy as an outboard.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And again, you've got all those features like that flip-up seat in the back.
Absolutely.
And you still have a little bit of a platform back there where you can hang out and have some fun.
Of course, and another benefit of the outboard is all this space that was taken up by the engine is now extra storage.
Yeah. And then you've got the ski pylon as well.
Absolutely. On the outboard boat, they use the ski pylon to get the rope up above the engine.
Yep. And on the what'd you call it, stern power?
On the stern drive boat, it's down a little lower, which is usually what real skiers prefer.
It is a lower rope, but either way, you can have a good time on this.
That's right.
And
both boats have a wakeboard tower as well, and you can attach the rope up here for wakeboarding.
Oh, I see, right above the roof line here.
Absolutely.
You've got that. Now, of course, you have to
need to fold your bimini up.
Fold the bimini up before you tie up to this thing here, but you can wakeboard off of that because I suppose you need to be really high up for wakeboarding.
Absolutely.
So it looks like there's a little something for everybody on this boat when it comes to a good family boat.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah, it really is, and again, you got these beautiful places where you can hang out in front, you know, and again, you've got that wonderful sound system, that really common sense, dash array here.
Great layout. The Sea Ray spends a lot of time and effort in ergonomics and putting things in the right places. When you buy a Sea Ray, you get a lot of things you don't know you have until you're on somebody else's boat and it's not there.
Yeah, I guess you would, you'd have to. Experience is a cruel teacher when it comes to these things.
Absolutely.
It looks like everything here is just intuitively obvious. Where you would expect the throttle to be, it's there, and all of your gauges and things. Now, Todd, I could put other things on this, can I? If I wanted to put like a fish finder and some other things.
Absolutely. There's tons of options available for the boat, and anything that Sea Ray doesn't offer, we can certainly help you get.
Todd, if we want to look at this boat and get a better look at this beautiful red Sea Ray, just give you a call, stop in.
Come right on down to Marine Max. We're at 3605 Thomas Drive, right here across from Captain Anderson's. And the phone number is 850-708-1317. And we're on the web at marinemax.com/Panama City Beach.
Todd Hudgel, thanks so much for showing us this beautiful Sea Ray.
Good to see you again, Don.
All right, happy sailing. And we'll be right back after your Waking Up with Don weather.
Welcome back to the show, and today we have Alan Graham with Counts Real Estate with us. Welcome back, Alan.
Morning.
Great to see you.
Great to see you.
So what can we talk about today? You got some good stuff for us?
Yeah, I get so many calls with people asking for information about short sales or foreclosures. And 3 or 4 years ago, those were dominant in the market. They had moved up to about 40% of the market because of the increase in price in 2005, 6, and 7 in market prices, and then when the market went back down and jobs were lost, our medical expenses within the family, our unexpected expenses, then those high mortgage payments caused people to go into foreclosures, and they did a thing called a short sale, which meant that they were having to offer the property at a sale price that was below what the mortgage originally was on that.
Okay.
And so a lot of people thought, well, gee, we'll be getting great deals on these short sales or foreclosures. But in reality, I found about 95% of them to not be as good a deal as you thought.
And that's something that actually, conversating with you before the show, I was concerned about too. I've been buying some houses with me and my fiance, and I never really understood the whole aspect. I always heard it just takes longer to close. So if you're looking to move into something soon, you don't want to go with the short sales or foreclosures. But I didn't understand that, maybe those aren't a good deal. I was always thinking, it's a cheaper price. The house is so much cheaper. I'm not going to be paying as much. I might as well try to go for those short sales. What are the reasons why you would say that those might not be the best deal?
Well, there's a lot of reasons for it. I've had short sales. I've had somebody make an offer, and that offer did not get acted upon until two years later.
2 years to move into a house, that's an awful long time.
Right, and the reason is they had so many foreclosures come in. Large banks like Bank of America and some of these bigger banks decided to farm this short sale process out to subcontractors.
Okay.
But they had to create a checks and balance system of being written off on that it's okay to sell it at that price. A lot of people think that you can offer way below market value or way below what they've got it offered at, and they'll just accept any deal. And that's not true. Typically, the new regulations require that there's an appraisal of that property within the last 30 days before it sells. That was designed to stop people from making a low-ball offer and their brother-in-law at the bank making the decision to sell it to them to give them a great deal.
Yep.
And so that process is stopped. You're going to pay what market value is.
Okay.
The downside to buying these things are that if somebody hadn't been able to make the mortgage payment, they probably haven't taken very good care of the property, or in some instances, they've had a resentment about it and they've taken the refrigerator and the oven or the microwave, or if the house is set vacant for a long period of time, vandals have gone in and tried to rob the copper from the air conditioning systems or the copper from the plumbing or the light fixtures. And I've had all of those things happen in houses that I've had listed.
So these houses are just, you might be paying what you would be for that house that wasn't a foreclosure, but you're getting a lot less because now you're losing all of those appliances. The people aren't caring about taking out their furniture. They're just destroying the place. So in the end, you really aren't getting a good deal at all.
No, you need to be prepared to probably replace the roof, go in and replace all the carpeting. You're probably going to have to paint the house, and there may be an air conditioning replacement. So you're looking at close to $25,000 of an additional investment. Is there an occasional good deal that somebody gets out there that they've taken care of the property? The answer to that's yes, but it's very, very rare. You have to do a lot of background work, and you have to investigate the property and depend on a good realtor.
Yes, a good realtor is a key thing. Now, also foreclosures. Now, we stuck on the short sales. Is the foreclosure the same process pretty much?
Well, if it's foreclosed, and that word with a D on the end, that means the bank has already gone through all of the legal work to acquire the property themselves.
Okay.
Those properties don't take 2.5 years. They don't have to go through the process of clearing the title, getting approval through all the vice presidents that are in this chain of command here. They pretty much have the right to sell it. It still may take 3 to 4 months to sell, but at least you're down to the point to where they have a clear title and the bank owns it.
Okay. Now, what are some things that you would suggest to people that are looking to buy a house, and they did find a foreclosure or short sale? Obviously, you said there are some good ones. What are the key things that they should look for?
The most expensive things to replace in a house are going to be your roof, your air conditioning system, your plumbing, in other words, your water heating. So I'd go in the appliances. So those are your major expenses in a home. If it's just dirty paint or things like that, paint is a cosmetic issue that you can go fix. Drywall or sheetrock is very inexpensive to repair and paint. But the major expenses are going to be your roof, your air conditioning system, water heater, and appliances.
Awesome. Well, thank you for those key points, and it was great to have you on the show again.
Thank you, Kristen.
And we'll be back after these messages.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Allison Smith from Herb Effects Landscape and Pest Control.
Yes, sir.
So it's not just landscaping.
Yeah, we
you
have
control those little critters as well.
We do, and the critters are getting busy right now. They're waking up. They're hatching.
They are waking up. They're waking up with Don. Anyway, long story, even painfully longer. You did come to my house one time, and you looked at my crepe myrtles and Laura's pedalum.
Laura Pedalum, right?
Laura pedalum and all the other little things I got going on there. And you said, oh, cut them back, cut this one down, and I was afraid. It was like killing your children. I was chopping things in half.
I don't think it's quite so bad as killing your children.
It was awful. It was like, I can't believe I'm doing this, like cutting them back so far, but guess what? They're all blooming now.
They're doing great, aren't they?
They're doing fabulous now. I'm
People
all
are
new buds and-
terrified to trim things.
Yeah, you don't want to cut it back too much and hurt the plant, but apparently.
But in the long run, it's usually, depending on what you're doing, better for the plant.
Well, it's coming back with a vengeance.
Yes.
And now we're in springtime now.
Hopefully, we'll stay in
Hopefully
springtime.
we'll stay in springtime.
Right.
I've been watering once a week.
Okay, we're going to up that. It's time to up that.
So here we are at the irrigation station.
We're going to talk irrigation, yes.
All right, let's talk irrigation. How often should we be doing it this time of year? I mean, should we be doing it every day,
No.
every other day?
No.
Okay.
No.
No,
Do
and
not-
no.
Do
Okay.
not run your irrigation every day.
Really?
That is actually, too much water can actually be as bad, if not worse, depending on what time of the year, than not enough water.
Unless it's like special circumstances, maybe, like if
You know,
it's
if
super
you
hot out,
put
maybe, or.
new sod down and you're trying to keep that moist. Yes.
Okay.
You want this time of year, you're really at about 3 days a week.
Okay.
Okay, 3 days a week, and depending on if you have sprays or rotors, sprays are the ones pop up and they do a solid area, almost like a mist.
Yeah.
Some are, you know, a certain triangle area.
Well, most
some
people
are
have a combination.
Exactly, and that's where it gets tricky.
That's what I
because
have.
unfortunately, you should have sprays on one zone, rotors on another.
Yeah.
A spray should run, like right now, 15, 20 minutes, okay? 3 times a week. Your rotors, 30 to 40 minutes. So those the ones that kind of run, the kids want to play in, they do
Right,
this.
sure.
Those,
like, typically, you'd have like a rainbird or something in
yes,
there.
you need to run twice as long as your sprays. A good rule of thumb.
All right.
So if your sprays are 15 to 20 minutes, then you're going to do those rotors, 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
3 times a week, no more. Even in the very heat of the summer,
Really?
you really don't need to be more than. We don't ever recommend 7 days a week.
Really?
Yes.
So every other day, maybe in the heat of
Right.
the summer?
Well, you may have to go like say 5 days a week, but like right now, if you have a home maybe on the bay or on the beach where you're getting bombarded with wind constantly, and that wind is blowing your irrigation off, and only a portion of the water is technically hitting your ground. You know, how often do you run your irrigation and watch it? Do you stand and just watch and make sure
That it's covering?
that it's covering everything? Pay attention. Call somebody to come check it out.
And
But-
adjusting those sprinklers is kind of a pain, but anybody could really figure it
Yeah,
out,
it's
right?
not hard. It's not that
Yeah.
complicated. But really, I mean, one of the simplest things you can do is just simply turn your system on, get a cup of coffee, watch, make sure it's actually covering, go back behind it, make sure everything feels moist. Yeah, it's amazing. And people think they have stuff wrong with their yard and something's dying. It could be that a head got stopped up and it's not covering the way it's supposed to. So
Yeah,
and it takes just a grain of sand.
And I know some of those pop-ups, they have stage fright. I mean, they won't come out because grass is growing over them.
Right.
So the
Just
first
go-
time you turn it on in the year, whatever, it's,
Which is why we recommend, even through the winter, running that just for a few minutes once a week so that kind of thing doesn't happen and they don't get stuck.
So
you
just
want to
walk
keep it
around.
offering.
So how
Yeah.
long, we should start watering 3 times a week because it's springtime. And how long for each zone? 10,
Well, like I
15?
said, if you've got sprays, the 15 to 20 minutes. If you've got rotors, you're going to double that. Your rotors
Okay.
should run twice the length, give or take.
But if you have
of your
rotors and
spray.
sprays on the same zone, you're kind of
If you've got them mixed together, then cut the difference.
Okay.
So
Well, sound
then-
advice.
yeah.
I mean, here we are. It's springtime.
It's
Time to start
spring,
irrigating.
Yes, hopefully we're not going to have any more cold spells.
No, I don't think so. I think it's
Yeah.
going to get nice and warm.
Yes.
Allison Smith from Herb Effects, thank you so much for getting us smart on irrigation.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. And today we have Annette Jones here with the Goodwill Industries Big Bend. Welcome to the show, Annette.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you. So I'm understanding now, after a little bit of conversation before the show, what Goodwill does. I always thought it was just the stores and you can go and, and it's where you just buy stuff. Didn't realize there's a whole other aspect and end to
Yes.
it. Can you tell me a
Yes.
little bit more about Goodwill?
I would love to. A lot of people are in the same boat you are. In fact, I was in that same category before I started working for Goodwill. I had no idea what all Goodwill does. We have the stores, and I would say probably most people know about Goodwill stores and have shopped in them at some point. But those stores actually fund an entirely other side of Goodwill, the good work that we do, which we do through several different components. First and foremost, we have over 26 stores in the Goodwill Big Bend region, and we employ over 600 people, and a very large portion of the people that we employ do have some sort of physical or mental disability that would maybe hinder them from being able to find work in a more mainstream area. So that's one thing that we do, is to be able to allow validation and allow folks to be productive members of society, where maybe they would be overlooked otherwise. Another thing that we have is our 12 apartment communities throughout the region, throughout the Panhandle. Those apartment communities are geared for senior citizens and people with mental and physical disabilities who are on a lower fixed income and can't necessarily afford to live in the other types of communities available out there. Each of our sites has an on-site manager who lives there, so there's always security and assistance available in case that's needed. Then we also have our career training centers. We have 9 of those throughout the Panhandle. 2 of them are right here in Panama City. One is at 23rd Street, that's where my office is. And then the other one is in Springfield. And in our career training centers, we have 2 different portions. One is the employment placement side, where we have employment specialists who assist with job skills, job readiness, making sure that people are ready to go to work, that they have all of their resumes done, they have everything set up so that they're ready to actually start a job. Because a lot of people get a job and then they don't have transportation or childcare or things like that, things that they forget.
Things that come about.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to touch upon that more when we get back. So we'll get back to that after these messages. Welcome back, and again we have Annette here with us from Goodwill, and we finished talking about the apartment complexes and the job readiness. Can you tell me about the job training that you offer?
Yes, we have, as I mentioned before, we have 9 career training centers throughout the Panhandle. 2 of them are here in town. What we do with those training centers, not only do we have the employment readiness, but and the employment placement assistance, but we also have the training side, which is our main focus actually. There are several of us trainers. I'm one of the trainers, and what we do is we try to help people learn skills to start into a career path of some sort.
That's very important.
Incredibly important. One example would be that what I do, I teach the hospitality training. So I have one class for lodging, guest service, to help people who want to go work in the hotels and resorts that we have. I have a class for restaurant guest service. That's for people who want to go work in one of our fine dining establishments in the area. And then I'm going to be rolling out in May a new housekeeping component, because housekeepers and servers are the 2 most demanded jobs in our particular city. So it's good that, and with all of those, you can get nationally certified.
Oh, wow, that is great.
So that can go with you even if you don't stay in Bay County for the rest of your life.
Yep.
We also offer GED preparation classes. We offer, we will be offering retail, nationally certified retail associates, nationally certified bank tellers, CNA courses, and we are currently also offering a lot of computer courses that can range everywhere from the beginning, how do you turn a computer on and how do you use a mouse.
And it's crazy, a lot of people actually don't know that stuff.
A lot.
With today's day and age, you think technology, yes, everybody does know, but a lot of people don't, and it is becoming a necessity in today's working market.
Yes, and it's really scary when you don't know how to do that. It's frightening when you try to get a job and you find out, oh my goodness, the cash register is a computer. How do I do this? I don't know how to do this. We're here for that. We can help you with that. We also have, everything from that computer basics class all the way up to advanced Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Adobe, Photoshop, all of those kinds of classes.
That's awesome.
Those are really amazing
They
classes.
really are. Now, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they go about doing so?
Okay, well, as I mentioned, we have 2 centers right here in Panama City. One is on 23rd Street. The phone number for that one is 785-5083.
Yeah.
And the other one is in Springfield, and the phone number for that one is 522-3900.
Okay.
And most importantly, go to our website, which is www.gwcareercampus.com. And I also want to add that all of our classes are completely free and open to the public.
That is amazing.
Some of the national certifications will require a little fee for the certification, but that's not us. That's the place that's doing it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.